What is up, YouTube? This is Platinum Point, and I'm here to bring you guys a Weiss Schwarz deck profile for the new year 2021. I know I haven't been posting for quite some time. I was just really busy with life and a lot of deck testing, a lot of things had happened. So, just a quick summary. In December, we had Kaguya Love is War come out in JP, and I've been messing with that set. I've been tweaking with my Psychono deck. I've been tweaking with a lot of my decks, so I haven't had a time to sit down and record any content because I was just too busy, kind of, in a sense, just handling my day-to-day grind. So, recently, as of the 22nd of January, English had finally got its release of Fate Grand Order Absolute Demon Front, or Absolute Demonic Front Babylonia, and I managed to go into a case of it with a friend of mine, and I managed to get some really nice pulls, and honestly, it was actually kind of fun pulling through it. I wish I recorded it, but let's just say we pulled very godly in our case. I think it was like 2 SPs and a secret. The secret rare mash, and my friend got that mash, and I managed to get the 2 SPs and plus some money on the side. But overall, it's kind of interesting to do a deck profile in a set that I didn't actually get a chance to play in GP. So this is actually my first time kind of building this set. So I've been examining various builds. This is actually one of 2 builds that I'm currently messing around with. So this one is actually a standby comeback build, or a standby door build. So it uses the Aresh 1-step and the Ishtar finisher. So without further ado, let's get onto the deck profile. So just in case for the climax arrangement, we play 4 standby and 4 doors. So start off with the 0-step. We play 4 copies of the No Butts Ishtar. So this is your coin flip of the deck. So when at the beginning of your opponent's draw phase, you can reveal the top card of your deck. If the card revealed is level 1 or higher, you return this card from field to hand. And it also has the second ability, pay 1, send this to the waiting room, and then look at up to the top 4 cards of your deck and add a Chaldea or Babylonia character. So this allows you deck filtration and just overall consistency. It's selective milling. Continue on with the 0-step. We play 4 copies of the Triumphant Expression Ishtar. So this Ishtar is one of your main utility zeros along with the No Butts Ishtar. So what she does is when she comes into play, you can reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Babylonia character, you can put it underneath as a marker. And while it has a marker, it gains plus 2k. So this becomes a 4k beat stick, which is really nice. So this helps you build some mini compression at the 0-step, as well as create a 4k beat stick. Next, we play 3 copies of the new being created by the gods, Kingu, or Enkidu. If you remember from the FGO lore, Kingu is just basically using Enkidu's body. So when Kingu comes into play, you get to reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Chaldea or Babylonia character, it gains plus 2k. And when it's sent to the waiting room, you can discard 1, look up to the top 4 cards of your deck, and select a level 1 or higher card, and add to your hand and send the rest to the waiting room. So this is your On-Death Chiori. The reason why you play this at 3 is since you're playing standby, you kind of want to dump all your standby targets into the deck as fast as from the deck to the waiting room as fast as you can, so you can launch standby at the ideal time to get your ideal standby targets. Another thing about this is it's just selective milling and deck acceleration since this deck really kind of needs it. Next, we play 3 copies of the Towards the Final Singularity mash. So this is your tap, self, search, brainstorm. I know in most builds, especially in JP, they run 2, but I like 3 because it's just for consistency purposes and being able to have a consistent mill with the brainstorm and digging through your deck is nice. Plus, well, it has the other ability of boosting the character in the center slot of center stage by 500, which is really nice. Lastly, we play 2 copies of the Battle with a Strong Enemy mash. So this is your climax swap. So when it comes into play, you get to mill the top 2 cards of your deck. If one of them is a climax, you give one of your opponent's characters minus 1k. And it's basically a standard climax swap. Pay 1, discard a climax, salvage a climax. And then onto the 1 step, we play 4 copies of Mistress of the Underworld, Ereshkigal. So when it attacks, if you control another Chaldea character, it gains plus 1500. And if you have the climax combo, when it reverses an opponent's character, you may put the top 2 cards of your deck to your waiting room, and then salvage 1 level X or lower character from your waiting room to your hand. So this basically is Shizu, but on reverse. So when you mill 2, you get to salvage a character equal to the total number of the cards milled or less. So you can basically, if you mill 2 level 1s, you can either salvage a level 2, a level 1, or a level 0. So anything above, at or below that level, the total level, which is really nice. Next we play 3 copies of Bringing the Underworld Beneath Uruk Ereshkigal. So this is the 1/1 standby target that you play that you try to fetch out from waiting room at the 0 step. So when she gains the ability, if you have 2 or more Chaldea or Babylonia characters, she gains plus 2k. And her second ability is it's a discard hand encore. I play 1 copy of the Sudden Visit Gilgamesh. The reason why I play this is it has the ability when it attacks, give another character plus 2/5. So this is just like the 1/0 union that Konosuba's JP Konosuba plays in order to guarantee the reverse on the 1-step combo. So, and since Ereshkigal only hits for 6k, it's really hard to get over 1-step level 1 fields if they back up. So I wanted to make sure that I'm able to at least to get the reverse. So that's why I play the Gilgamesh, because it gives the Eresh plus 2/5, making her swing for 8/5 instead of the standard 6. So it's most likely going to get the reverse. Then I also play one special honorary advisor, Da Vinci. So this is your anti-early play level 1. So it gets reversed by an opponent's character who is higher than their opponent's level. You get to send it to the bottom of their deck, which is really nice. Then we play 1 copy of the Lifa counter Quetzalcoatl. So luckily with FGO, they have a level 1 Lifa counter, which is really nice. I would play this at 2, but since we're playing other backups as kind of our insurance policy, you can actually cut this down to 1, which is really fine. And then onto the level 2, we play 2 copies of the SD Gilgamesh from the set, the box topper promo. So when you play this as a backup, you get to mill the top 3 cards from your opponent's deck to the waiting room. So this allows you to kind of kill out their climaxes, or even thin their deck out to the point where they're triggering climaxes on the next attack. So, and it's a 3k punch, which is really nice. And then lastly, for the 2-step, we play 4 copies of the One Who Has Seen Everything. Not 2, but 4 copies of that. Of the One Who Has Seen Everything Gilgamesh. This is the Trow deck 2/2. This has the two abilities where it gains 1,000 for each Chaldea or Babylonia character on board. Characters on board, I mean, and if this direct attacks your opponent, you get to select a Babylonia or Chaldea character from your waiting room and put it into your stock. So this is basically the Cocytus, Troudek Cocytus from Overlord, but for Babylonia, which is really nice because then it makes standby really into a plussing, a truly plussing climax, as it gives us a card that builds stock as a form of utility, which is really nice. And then moving on to the 3-step, we play 1 copy of Power of a Goddess Ishtar. This is the Troudek 3-step finisher. So when it comes into play, you get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and then you can select one of them and put it to your hand and put the rest to your waiting room. And it's a unattack, pay 2, discard 1, burn 1. So this is a precision burn finish, and the reason why you play it is just to dig for your finishing combo. Next, we play 2 copies of Grand Caster Merlin. So this is your on-play healer. It's also when another character comes into play or itself, you get to check the top card of your deck, and then you leave it back at the original position. So this is trigger check confirmation, as well as being able to determine whether the next sequence would be a brainstorm, and other things. So this is basically your generic booster, that your generic standby target for the 3-step or for the 2-step, because it allows you to basically boost the 2/2 gills, and since it's a global 15, it's actually pretty nice. Lastly, for the 3s, we play 3 copies of the early play stock yield mash. Her early play condition is if you have 2 or less climaxes, you may play this from hand as if it was a level 2, and if you control 2 or more Chaldea character, for each other Chaldea in the back row, it gains plus 1k, so she can easily become a 11k. And when it comes into play, you discard 1 to stock heal. And then lastly, for the level 3s, we play 3 copies of Goddess Who Rules Over Venus Ishtar. So this is your finisher of the deck, which pairs with this climax. So when this comes into play, heal, and it gains 500 equal to the total number of Chaldea and Babylonia characters on board. So she becomes an 11k on during your is it continuous or during your turn? Continuous 11k if you have a full board, and with climax combo she gains the ability pay 2, discard to select 2 cards from your opponent's waiting room, shuffle them back into their deck. Is it shuffle them back or put them at the top? Yeah, shuffle it to their deck and burn 4. So this is your main finisher of the deck. This is actually a really explosive finisher. And if you catch your opponent in a awkward deck state where they haven't gotten to refresh, you just simply slap this down, shuffle two blanks back in, and burn 4. And if they're in a very awkward deck state, you could kill them on the climax combo. Hence why it's a pay 2, discard 2 on attack, which is actually really nice for what she does. Overall, I like the deck, and and as you can see, I kind of pulled one of the this is one of the SPs I pulled. The other one was the 3/2 Gilgamesh, which I might feature a deck profile using that card later on. But I hope you guys like this. The first actually English FGO Babylonia deck that's on YouTube, and it's actually my first one of the new year. Hope you guys like this deck profile. Click like, subscribe, and hit the notification button for more content. And the next video I'm going to probably do is the other version of this deck, which is the the book door version, as that one uses a different strategy, but it still uses the Ishtar finisher, as actually Ishtar is probably one of the best finishers in the set, in my opinion. Other than that, I will probably be doing a Kaguya-sama deck profile in the near future. I'm still ironing out that deck, so I'm not gonna guarantee that I'm gonna get that anytime soon. Other than that, another deck profile that I might be doing is my Konosuba, an update on my Konosuba, as I managed to get some missing pieces for another build of Konosuba that's actually very popular post Crimson, Legend of Crimson. So keep an eye out for that. Once again, this is Platinum Point. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, false crack that like button, and stay on point, guys. Peace out.